So, Doug, what's it like? You're unemployed. Yeah. Enjoying yourself? Hi. How you guys doing? It's been a while, hasn't it? Okay, well, congratulations. We're a new team now. We're known as the Carolina Bills. No, we used to be the Buffalo Jets, but, sadly, during the off-season, we decided to let go of the very, very, very heavy coaches, Rex and Rob Ryan, due to their, very nice work done as our coaches. Thank you, guys. We appreciate that. Getting all of our players really mad. Stephon Gilmore, R.I.P. But yeah, so let's talk about these Carolina Bills, though, folks. We have new additions of Mike Tolbert, Philly Brown. Pretty sure they were with Carolina last year. Congratulations to them. Thank you. Welcome to the new additions. But we're going to talk about the first thing with the Carolina Bills, the firing of Doug Whaley. Thoughts?
I was not surprised because the media announced it was going to happen on Tuesday before the draft in typical fashion. I was basically thinking that it should have happened when Rex got let go. It made absolutely no sense to keep Doug Whaley on at that point. But what worries me a little bit is it seems like the media and the fans really swayed the decision. I'm glad he's gone too, don't get me wrong, but you had all but negative talk about Doug Whaley, including even from this show, about how bad Doug Whaley was as a general manager, and that press conferences he gave were absolutely stupid and atrocious, where Sean McDermott had to step in and talk for him at one point. So I'm glad he's gone, but once again it brings into kind of what you were just saying. Now you have Sean McDermott saying, how about another guy from Carolina that we're going to bring in to be the GM? Now that might not happen. There's probably already negative talk about that now.
Billy Beane, right?
Yeah, I don't know. My basic concern is there's a certain amount of integrity that has to happen within the organization without fan approval, and then there has to be a certain amount of integrity where you do rely on what the fan and media input is. But my whole point is none of this matters until we win. That's what I'm going to say. Everything we say, and please keep watching, but none of this matters until we actually start winning games. We need to start doing that and not trying to appease every single situation that happens by okay, they don't like that guy, let's fire this guy. They don't like this guy, let's fire that guy.
That's the problem, though, with nowadays, though, is a lot of people do want, I want 100% approval. People are trying to please everybody for no reason, when it should be all about your business or all about what you think is best for your situation. Now, I disagree with the fact of the Doug Whaley firing. Not necessarily, I do believe he did deserve to be fired, but I did think they did make the right decision on choosing to fire him when they chose to fire him that Sunday morning, 8 a.m., that meeting. That was a fun time. I wish I was there. That would have been probably pretty sweet. But no, they had to hold their guns to their belts. They didn't know. How do we not know a team's not going to pay off Doug Whaley? Hey, what's their plans? What's their ideas? Who knows? We might not have been able to get all we could have got for that first-round pick for 10th overall. I mean, we got a future first-round pick. We had that 27th overall pick, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then you still, I think that was a fourth-round pick that they had accumulated with that too?
No fourth rounders.
No, was it a third? I don't know, but they got another pick for it. Yeah, it was a third pick for it then. The third-round pick for it for this draft. But, Doug did some really nice things. I mean, sure, if you don't count EJ, Sammy, who would have thought Sean Henderson, a 7th-round pick, would have been a starter for us for one full season? If he didn't have Crohn's disease, we wouldn't have Jordan Mills playing on our right tackle, and our right tackle spot wouldn't be a gaping hole or, push through door. Ronald Darby, he had a lot of questions about him. Who would have thought him, 2nd-round pick, 50th overall? No one would have thought he would have done as great as he did. So, he did make a lot of nice deals. Kiko for LeSean. Come on. How's it going? What's up, Philly? But there's a lot of good things that he did do with this roster. It's sad to say, were some things done correctly? No, but at the same time, it kind of happens. We can't please everyone.
I think you and I, let's get into the picks now, because I think you and I have some disagreements on the picks, and you can get a couple different, get some perspectives here. So, first pick overall, like we said, we traded 10 for 27. We got a 3rd-round pick, but what I really loved, a 1st-round pick next year. Now we got to root for the Chiefs to be bad all year. So we picked up Tre'Davious White, cornerback out of LSU. He's a good special teams player. Okay, I know. We're going to counter. He's a good special teams player, and I don't have faith in Kevon Seymour being the starter, so I like the fact that we bring in somebody that could start. I actually hope he doesn't play special teams, even though he can, because I want to have a corner that's just set up as corner. We did the same thing with Leotis McKelvin. Yeah, and it's just like, just get a corner that's a corner, like Gilmore was. He was just a corner. He didn't play special teams, except for, like the hands team. Thoughts?
So, congratulations. With the first-round pick, we drafted a special teamer. We might as well just draft a kicker. Don't we need those? Oh no, we got Blair Walsh. No, Hoshka. I'm sorry. I was thinking Blair Walsh, because I know it was the Seattle game, Minnesota, and all that. But yeah, we got a special teamer. We might as well have just picked a punter. What's the purpose of addressing a special team need when you want players that have an ability to play multiple positions, but Jabril Peppers, who was probably one of the most flexible guys in this draft, could play one of, I don't know, 6.
He was a linebacker, strong safety, kind of a hybrid. But the problem is, now you said, like you said, they want to do possibly a nickel defense.
2 linebackers, because that's what he did with Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly. And then they had, I forget who their safety was, but that's all he would run, and it made sense. Because they had the safety that was able to... They played 5 in the backfields, which...
Well, maybe that's why they didn't seem too concerned about getting another weak side linebacker, because they already think they have their 2 in Ragland and Alexander.
But do they, though? What about Preston Brown, though?
No, he's listed as a backer right now, but I'm hoping they move him around and actually figure out what to do with him.
But Alexander's going to get exposed. He's 34 years old. I mean...
We'll see. I have no faith in this season, sorry. But anyway, all right, let's move on to round 2. Another trade. We traded... We got the 37th pick. We traded and we swapped a 3rd and a 5th, and we picked up Zay Jones, wide receiver, out of East Carolina. Yes, we needed a wide receiver. I was actually hoping for Juju Smith personally. I think there was no need to make a trade to get a receiver in the 2nd round, but we did what we did. I will say one thing. I'm going to backtrack a little bit about both Tre'Davious White and Zay Jones, is that they both enjoyed the fact that they got drafted by Buffalo. And I know that seems silly that I even have to address that, but we've had players in the past, a.k.a. Gilmore and others, that looked so mad that they got drafted by Buffalo. And you can already tell they're thinking about
their next contract.
Free agency. Yeah, and it's just like, they were happy, and that's all I can really ask for. It is a need position. I like the fact that we filled 2 need positions with our first 2 picks. My only thing is I don't think we needed to give up draft picks for it.
But did we really fill a need position, though? Because when you still have Colby Listenby, who we spent a 7th-round pick on.
He's not going to do anything.
Okay, he's a speedster. He ran a 4.39 with, 2, whatever he had broken? Whatever he had double surgery on and took a full-on year. That man is a speedster right there alone. And for all you know, he could be your number 1 wide receiver. He could run a go route, because that's all that Sammy apparently seems to be good for right now, is running a go route. He won't run across the middle because Tyrod can't throw the ball across the middle. All you're doing is running go routes. That's all it is. And if that's all you want to do, then what's the point of picking up a wide receiver in the 2nd-round pick? Antonio Brown, top 2 wide receiver, 6th-round pick right there. Came out of a small school. Why do I have to waste a 2nd-round pick on this? I could find a wide receiver anywhere. You can find one anywhere. Like C.V. Johnson, the only Bills receiver to go back-to-back 1,000-yard season, 7th-round pick. He had Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I'm pretty sure E.J. is his quarterbacks. Yeah. A waste of a pick, though. I really don't think. Who came out of Eastern Carolina, though? No offense. I mean, if Zay Jones is great, that's awesome. I'll happily admit I was wrong, but I don't see it.
Well, somebody who did come out of East Carolina as the wide receiver coach, who is now the wide receiver coach for the Bills, of course, another Carolina connection. We gave up 2 5th-round picks, and when we swapped our 3rd-round pick to pick up a guard/tackle, Dion Dawkins, out of Temple. I think he was one of those players that played tackle all college long, and then they projected him to play guard because he wasn't good enough to play tackle yet. But obviously the Bills are covered at guard, so he's probably going to be the competition for Jordan Mills. I don't see him just replacing John Miller and moving John Miller to the bench. I like the fact that we filled the need position, but I was very upset, and I still am, about the fact that we gave up all those draft picks for him. We could have gotten some diamonds in the rough in the 5th rounds. We don't know now. The players that actually went at those positions, I'm not very impressed with. Actually, let's say that right now. The players that went, Gerald Everett, Duke Riley, John Johnston, Brian Hill, and the other name that I can't pronounce right now. Those 5, I don't know what they're going to do for the rest of their career, but stay tuned. We'll find out in the next few years. We can come back and be like, hey, look at those Pro Bowl players that we totally passed up on. But at least we would have had more options. And I just think moving up for a tackle when we could have gotten a tackle at 75 was pointless.
Well, we could have also got a tackle at pick number 27, though, too, with the guy from Alabama, Robinson.
I didn't like Robinson.
I mean, you spent X amount of money on your backfield, bringing in Tolbert, bringing in the fullback out of Atlanta, DiMarco, DiMarco. Okay, and you're like, oh, hey, we're just going to go draft a corner. Like, I mean, if you want to address a need, then go for it. Pull a Dallas.
So let's go 100 picks later. That's right, to round 5, we made our next pick, because, again, we got rid of our 2 third-rounders. And we picked up Matt Milano, linebacker out of Boston College. He used to be a safety. He has lots of good numbers, 140 tackles. He has an interception, 14 sacks. Honestly, look at his highlight tape, and it's actually a pretty good tape. I was actually very impressed for somebody in the 5th round. The one problem I have, though, and I think that everyone has, is that when you look at the tape, he's undersized. He used to be a safety for a reason. Now, maybe he might be somebody that fills in as your
might be your
nickel.
Brian Scott.
He might be.
You have Micah Hyde for that too, though. Like, I mean, he used to play as a safety. Yeah, that's sweet and all.
Yeah.
But what has Boston College done though recently? I mean, if this
Matt
guy,
Ryan?
I mean, no, but
Hopefully.
like, well, not since, like, seriously, since Matt Ryan, how much success have they had? I mean, Luke Kuechly, but that's about it, really. I mean, don't get me wrong, if this guy comes in and plays lights out, that's awesome, but you're telling me he's going to cover Rob Gronkowski?
No, I think he's going to be a special teams player, and he might move in. I don't see him moving much past special teams for his size and stuff. He's a faster linebacker, though, and that's a good thing.
But yeah, anything else on that one?
I'm all set on that one. So I waited another 15 minutes for the Bills to make their next pick, and
2 shots.
about alrighty, and about 5 minutes before the pick, I said to my cousin who I was hanging out with, they brought up a little graphic that said Nathan Peterman, best quarterback available, and I'm like, I feel bad for whatever team picks him, because he, as a freshman, or I don't know if he was a freshman, but when he was at Tennessee, he got replaced for Josh Dobbs, and he was basically a second-string quarterback on the collegiate level until he transferred to Pitt just so he could play. So anyway, with that story, we went ahead and picked Nathan Peterman, quarterback out of Pittsburgh, and oh man, I threw things. And I have been going back and forth on this forever, and I know for those of you who know me, he reminds me of Fitz, and I actually believe that's a bad thing. Ryan Fitzpatrick I'm talking about. Our cameraman Randy just gave a little laugh there. The reason is he's coming in with, he has the brains, but he doesn't have the talent for the pros. And I think that's why he slid all the way to the 5th round. People knew that. So unless we have a New England type offense where we're just making very short passes and we change it to that, lots of play action, which I guess is what
you might
Rick
develop
Dennison,
with a strong running game. You could very well develop it.
You think so?
You can, because I mean, if you want to do a quick passing game, okay, so that means if Peterman's willing to throw the ball across the middle like Fitzpatrick was willing to, you got to take your chances, and that's what it is. Like, is Sammy though going to be, if he's hurt, is he going to run through the middle because it's a contract year? Did we pick up his 5th year option? No, we denied that. So for all we know, Sammy might be trade bait. We could be looking forward to the next draft, because you can find anything anywhere. Like what they say about Tom Brady, pick 199s.
Yeah.
Look what he's doing. He's doing pretty well for himself. What's up, Giselle?
Yeah, I've heard the Tom Brady comparisons.
I'm not calling him Tom Brady. I'm just saying possibilities, though.
I don't know. What I don't like, and this is just me, because I know there's other people that argue draft a quarterback every year, mix it up. But like they've already come out and said that Tyrod has to compete for his job again. I just feel that you have a scapegoat again. Like, I don't like entering seasons with, even last year to a small extent, they were like, when Tyrod was doing bad, people were starting to talk about, let's put Cardale Jones in. Or EJ. Yes, there were actual calls for EJ. I went to games where people chanted EJ's name. It was ridiculous. And now you have Peterman, and if Tyrod does one thing wrong, there's going to be the chance for Peterman. And then if Peterman goes in, they're going to be calling for Tyrod again. And it's just like, oh, why did we put ourselves in this position where we're not giving Tyrod Taylor just a chance? I'm sorry, I don't feel like he's had it even still. Last year was pretty decent, but the contract kind of screwed up his chance. Now he has less money. Yeah, now he has less money.
Because it really sucks, because, like, his first year when he was a starter, I mean, if you don't count that Jacksonville game when, EJ bad. Sorry for younger viewers
out there. Sorry.
Oh, darn. But, yeah, there was... but, yeah, like, he played the best ball he could do. Like, when you don't have a number one wide receiver that's always there, when you're still missing your running back because he's hurt or so on and so forth, like, it kind of stinks. Like, Tyrod should be the quarterback. You still have Cardale Jones, who you don't know what... He's a project. What was the point of even selecting this quarterback? I mean, for all we know, it's just McDermott doesn't like either one of them two. Maybe that's why we got Yates from University of Carolina. Who would have thought that one? North Carolina, by the way. But who would have thought that? Damn, the Carolina Bills for you. What can I say?
Yeah, at least we didn't trade up and get Trubisky, because I was thinking about that Carolina connection too, expecting that to possibly
I didn't think of that. No, yeah. But that's I'm sorry for
yeah. Well, thank God that didn't happen. Okay, so finally we have our last pick, and we're not going to really go into him. It was just kind of a linebacker here from Boise State. Tanner Vallejo. I mean, somebody projected him as the 11th best linebacker, but he had like 28 missed tackles. So, you know what? More depth, special teams. Do you have anything else to say about this?
I mean, the only thing with that, though, is, I mean, like the conference Boise State plays in, is they're a passing league. So, of course, there's going to be missed tackles on a wide receiver. I mean, unless he's running 4.2 speed or 4.3 speed, which I highly doubt. I mean, sure, 4.5 is pretty fast for a linebacker, or 4.6, 4.7. But still, like, the elusiveness of the wide receivers in that league is just ridiculous. I mean... It's a passing league. That's what this game's becoming.
So, final topic, draft grades. Oh, man, I've been going back and forth. I have one. I'll let you go.
The only positive was that first-round pick for next year. They're getting an E. That's it. Straight up E. Congratulations. You have to retake the course.
Whoa, okay. So, after a long time of contemplation here, I'm going with B-. And the reason for that is with the first 3 picks, we did address needs. Generally, in every draft, on average, you get about a couple starters, and I think the Bills did that. I'm not superly impressed with any of the players we got, but we did at least address some of our needs. Corner, wide receiver, offensive tackle, those were glaring needs if you looked at the depth chart. The only thing we did not address is safety. That's another knock. But again, there's no way with 6 picks, and this is the irony, there's no way with 6 picks you're going to get every need, but yet we had more than 6 picks at one point, and then we got rid of them, so then we'll never know. So, yay for us. Okay, well, I think that wraps it up here, Sal. Next time we'll see you. It'll probably be week 1, but if not week 1, then the Los Angeles Chargers, because we got to do another team. So
good luck, Carolina Bills. Hopefully, make no dumb decisions, get suspended. Marcel, I better not see you out dancing when you have an injured ankle. Yeah, that was a fun time. But, yeah, so stay tuned, guys. Hopefully you give us some feedback, leave us some comments. Feel free to criticize me. I'll happily take it. Feel free to criticize Jared. Whatever. I mean, for all we know, he might be wearing the jersey of not even our starting quarterback anymore. But, but yeah, aside from that, I hope you guys enjoy this wonderful day. Happy spring. Summer's about to look nice. And go Carolina Bills.